Lesson 44. God is the light in which I see.
Hi there. Are you ready for a very important experiment? With today's exercises, we aim to reach the light that makes vision possible. We'll try to move beyond the illusions of this world and catch a glimpse of the realm that lies beyond. In fact, today's lesson states it quite clearly. With these exercises, we're striving to reach God. So, are you ready for what Lesson 44 has to teach us?
God is the light in which I see.
Yesterday, we explored the idea that we cannot see apart from God because we cannot be apart from Him.
Lesson 43. God is my source. I cannot see apart from Him.
Today, we're building on this idea by recognizing that we cannot see in darkness, nor can we make light. We can, however, make darkness and believe we can see within it. Essentially, we're capable of developing complex thought systems that block the light from God, leading us to perceive illusions in that darkness. Light comes from God and reflects life, suggesting that life and light are interconnected and represent different aspects of creation. The light we talk about isn't, of course, the light we see with our physical eyes, which comes from outside us. To truly have vision, we need to recognize the light that emanates from within us. In metaphysical terms, we don't see outside ourselves, rather, it is the light within us that enables us to see. This is the light that is always with us, making vision possible. Today, we will attempt to reach that light. To do so, we will engage in an exercise closely resembling meditation. This exercise may prove challenging, particularly if our minds are still undisciplined. However, this represents a crucial step in our training, as it demands exactly what our untrained minds lack.
Yet this training must be accomplished if you are to see.
Let's aim for at least 3 practice periods today, each lasting 3 to 5 minutes, or even longer if possible and comfortable, without any sense of strain. As mentioned, this practice might seem difficult as long as the mind remains untrained, but for a trained mind, it could feel like the most natural thing in the world. We're probably somewhere in the middle, neither fully trained nor completely untrained. This places us in a good position to gain substantial benefits from today's exercise. However, it's crucial to keep in mind that we might encounter significant resistance. Why? This practice might require us to let go of everything we now believe. This process is essentially a liberation from our own personal hell, but to the ego, it may seem like a loss of identity and a descent into hell. If we manage not to identify with the ego, we will clearly see that its opposition and fears are meaningless. Today's lesson suggests it may be helpful to remind ourselves that to reach the light, we need to escape from darkness, which indeed represents all the fears and thoughts resisting what we aim to achieve. God is the light in which we see, and it is God we are trying to reach today.
God is the light in which I see.
Here's what we'll do in our 3 or more practice periods today. Let's begin by repeating today's idea with your eyes open.
God is the light in which I see.
Then, let's slowly close our eyes, continuing to repeat the idea several times more.
God is the light in which I see.
God is the light in which I see.
God is the light in which I see.
Now, let's try to sink deeper into our minds. We'll aim to move beyond any distracting thoughts, interferences, or intrusions by softly letting them go and quietly sinking past them. Remember, we cannot be stopped unless we choose to stop. Our mind is simply following its natural course. Let's watch our passing thoughts without getting involved, letting ourselves quietly drift past them. That's all we have to do in our practices for today. Let's just remember to approach it with an awareness of its importance, recognizing that we are engaging in something of immeasurable value and attempting something very holy. Salvation stands as our paramount goal and most joyous achievement, the sole pursuit that has any meaning, as it alone holds true purpose for us. If resistance arises, let's simply pause and repeat today's idea.
God is the light in which I see.
Should fear accompany that resistance, it may be beneficial to briefly open our eyes while repeating today's idea.
God is the light in which I see.
However, let's aim to resume the exercise with our eyes closed as soon as possible. But most importantly, we may experience a sense of relaxation and feel as if we're approaching or even entering the light.
Try to think of light, formless and without limit, as you pass by the thoughts of this world.
And remember, the thoughts of this world cannot hold us back unless we give them the power to do so.
God is the light in which I see.
Throughout the day, let's frequently repeat the idea, with eyes open or closed, depending on what feels most appropriate in each situation.
But do not forget. Above all, be determined not to forget today.
Amazing, isn't it? You might have noticed during these exercises from A Course in Miracles that it feels as though there's another realm within our mind. In this space, we become something entirely different. We're no longer tangled in the usual affairs of the world or what seems to be our everyday life. Instead, we find ourselves more at peace, more aware, teetering on the edge of gaining profound insights and revelations about a world beyond our usual perception. The contrast with our ordinary state of mind is stark. What troubles us in that state now seems inconsequential, fears fade away, and dramas dissolve. And instead of seeking dependence on external sources, we foster a deepening awareness that everything we need can be found within. We are aligning with our higher truth. And that doesn't have to be just a fleeting experience, it's a practice we need to cultivate, a way of life we need to embrace, a habit to nurture, and a mindset to embody more fully each day. That's why we engage in these daily exercises. You're doing great! See you tomorrow for another enlightening lesson. Quick reminder, if you haven't yet watched the introduction to this video series, be sure to do so, as it lays the foundation for our journey together. Just click on the video link that will appear on your screen shortly.
Did you enjoy the video and find it helpful? Please give it a like and leave a comment. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. We have a new lesson every day. And if you've been with us for a while, please consider supporting the channel. There's a lot of love behind these videos. Check out the video description for more details.